about
Oh,
my
can you start
friend.
that sentence over? I just hit the button as you began.
From the top.
Just start
Oh,
that
from the
sentence over that
top,
you
from the
said.
top. I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
otherwise I'll catch you mid-sentence. It just started, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I will then begin to tell you about my friends in college.
Not that top, the
No.
midway top.
Oh, midway top. Okay. So after I met Dr. Vicino, or excuse me, Dr. Neer, the reason why I'm calling him Neer is because he's Italian and his name is Vicino, and in Italian that means near. So that's why.
Like neighbor. Like Vicino.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
real close.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dr. Vicino is a man of about 80. He's kind of a tiny little man, and he walks very fast. So I meet him for the first time, and he talks Italian. And at the time, my Italian was rudimentary. So I thought, well, I better try to speak very slowly, make sure I understand it. So we finally got an understanding, and he examined me extensively with machinery, eye charts and all of that. And then he said, and we pointed to a room. So I went into the room. This is critical here. I'm going to show you what happened. I duplicated it a little bit. Okay, so this is what I saw. In the room was
You can hold it up.
yes, a 1 yard by 1 yard disc.
That big? Wow.
Yeah, that was on a stand like this one, so that I was seated in front of it by maybe about 3 feet away and looking at that. And he turned on the machine and it started to spin around. So that this became a diminishing center, spiraling into
Yeah.
vortex.
Black and white?
Black and white, yeah, and very dramatic.
Sort of hypnotic looking, right?
Very hypnotic, and that was the point. So I would stare at that for 5 minutes, and then I would take a break, and then he would have it revolve in the opposite direction.
Oh,
I
wow.
would take a break,
Huh.
and then he said, okay, that's enough for today. Then I want you to come back in 3 days, and we're going to continue. So we started with that 3 days later, and then he said, okay, now he took off this disc, which is almost as big as he was, and he put on a second disc.
Oh, right, through the small obstructor. Yeah.
Yeah, the same dimensions, but the point was numbers would appear on the disc, 15, 5, 10, 12, and then they would disappear. So he would sit next to me and watch and listen to me read out the numbers, and he would keep track of the numbers. And this was some way of being able to ascertain whether or not I was picking up what I was supposed to get. And we did this for maybe 3 weeks. And then he said, I see direct improvement. Your optic nerves are relaxing such and such a percent. Oh, wow. Such and such a percent. I don't know if we can continue.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyway.
Oh.
You guys are doing great.
You don't know.
Oh, I do.
I
do, much to my chagrin.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's why.
I had a question that perhaps I've now set aside.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Okay. So these exercises would continue a period of about 3 weeks. He noticed the improvement. He says, I'm going to make you prescription glasses. So he did. And I put them on in school, and no more double vision.
Were you teased?
No. They're just, no one really understood that they were special. They were just regular looking glasses. So, but they helped me quite a bit. And then over a period of time, the condition improved. So I didn't see them any longer.
Wow.
Now about 3 weeks pass, and I happen to get together with the bear and the squirrel for an evening of smoking some serious Mexican weed that we had gotten a hold of. And we were going to go to North Beach, to Grand Avenue, and this is early 70s. All the shops were open at night, and clothing shops proliferated on the upper Grand. So you can go in and get your bell bottoms and get your beetle boots and whatnot, and always playing.
Beetle boots.
Yeah, I have a pair still.
Okay.
Yeah, they were black boots that were fashioned after the Beatles, the same ones they wore.
Okay.
Okay, a moderate heel, all black, usually leather or suede. So we would go in and look at the boots and try things on. And all the time there was soundtrack of current rock music, local bands, particularly the Creedence Clearwater Revival. And yeah, they were doing this particular night as we were strolling in, stoned out of our minds. It just almost dance. We were dancing through the store, and hearing a Proud Mary, and Stuck in Lodi again. And so here we are doing this, and I said, Squirrel, I want you to know about supervision. And he said, what's that, Fox? I said, well, here's the way it works. When you're looking around for things, you open your eyes real big and you look around like that. So by this point, he's on his knees, okay, laughing, on the floor. So the bear sees him doing this, and the bear didn't like to be embarrassed publicly. Very stoic guy. So he goes over and kicks Paolo, cut it out, can't you this? So which makes Paolo laugh more.
For those hilarity.
And then I said, Paolo, Squirrel, there's the next part of this. I invented, along with my supervision, super smelling. He said, what's that? I said, well, you go. And then you look real big, and then you go. And then you look real big, and then you So he is literally sprawled out in the middle of the floor, people walking over him. He's laughing, and frothing at the mouth, and it's so funny. So, and again, the bear just walks out of the store. It's no part of this. So from that time forward, whenever we would get together, I would say, "You ready for some supervision?" Or smelling.
Oh yeah.
And so I hope that it makes sense to people who weren't there. But it was so good for us for quite a long time, And Dr. Bacino lived, Dr. Neer lived a long life, made it to 91. And I would occasionally visit him just socially, because my dad and he were good buddies. And my dad would go back and do his revolving. In other words, what this was what my dad could do with his own pupils.
Right.
He could look at you and revolve.
Yeah.
It was incredible. I've never seen anybody do that.
Yeah.
Googly-eyed, literally.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Wow.
But in like a
Yeah.
controlled kind of way.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You go, okay, go to the right, Dad. Go to the right, people, then go to the left.
That must be really strange.
Yeah. And Leslie's father had another talent. He could pull the lids back and show you the whites of his eyes. And that freaked out Leslie and her brother, especially when they knew he was Vincent Price, the Fly. So here he does all these eye tricks. So, alas, I cannot do these eye tricks, but...
with further practice, maybe.
Yeah. But that's the basic...
Watch a lot of Looney Tunes. That sounds like the end of the revolve.
Yes, that's right. It does like Looney Tunes. Yeah, that's true.
Great.
So that's what I wanted to share.
Well, shall we pause it and then...
Move on, sure.